My name is T. Felder, and I'm with the Hollywood Times, and I'm here with William Castrogiovanni. Am I saying your name right?
You're saying it better than I do, to be honest.
Okay. And you're like one of the leads for the new Jurassic movie, correct?
Yes, Jurassic Reborn.
I just wanted to know, like, how did you get into acting? Like, what sparked your interest with acting?
It's funny. It's been something I've been at my entire life since I was a little kid in elementary school. And the you know I the sort of family joke is that I used to actually organize like variety shows at my grandmother's house, like for the holiday parties. She had this little storage area in her basement, and she had these hand sewn curtains that you put there, and I'd use it as my stage, and I would cajole all of my sisters and cousins to do shows with me. And that very much annoyed my family, I think, to the degree that my mom was like, let's put him in an acting class. So I've been doing this since elementary school. I ended up doing children's theater for a while. I had, my first agents and commercial projects were, by the time I was in middle school. So I've been at it for a very, very long time.
Nice. So you were pretty much like the life of the party with your family.
I wouldn't go so far. I wouldn't say life of the party, but definitely I definitely wanted the attention. But I've often said, I'm actually kind of a shy person by nature, and which may seem to run counter to like what, people think actors are very, outgoing and energetic, but for me, I like to sort of hide in the spotlight, if that makes sense. Like people are watching the character, they're not watching me, and so um, that's I like to be able to wear the mask of a character.
Oh, sounds good. So with you being shy, so I know like acting has like there's a lot of barriers in terms of like getting gigs and
Mm.
just overall like having an acting career. So like what were some of like the challenges that you faced and like what objectives have you like overcome to kind of be where you are right now in this
Sure.
moment?
So, a lot of it is you get accustomed to having a lot of rejection. There's going to be a lot of no's before you get your first yes. And I think it was learning to, a lot of it was having to just learn to enjoy the process, to make every audition sort of like a one night only show. Is this, treat the audition as that, and let the audition, let that performance be its own reward, because you might not actually get the part. Um, and I think the other thing is to try to focus on the parts of the industry that you can control, because there's so much of the industry that is outside of your control. You might not have the right physicality. You might be the wrong age range, or you might look like the producer's ex-boyfriend. You never
Yeah.
know what's going to get you in. So I've actually for several years been running a goal group for actors, writers, and directors, where each month well, every year we create sort of mission statements for ourselves, and then each month we break down, here are the things that we can do for ourselves: producing our own content, or revising our marketing materials, honing in on what our brand is, improving our craft. All these things are within our control, and so we focus on that.
Oh, awesome. I like the fact that you're helping other people kind of break through as well. That's always like a plus too.
It started because I had ended up writing mission statements for myself and found out how effective it was, and I started telling some of my friends about it, and it sort of snowballed, and it became this little group.
Nice. So I actually am a big fan. I grew up with Jurassic, so I'm like a super big fan of it. My husband loves these. How did you go about getting into the franchise? Like how did you go about getting your role?
A lot of these projects are sort of they put the breakdowns on Actors Access for some of these projects, and I I know for me what is most exciting about this character is that I completely identify with who Dr. Jerry Wilson is, and I am like I said earlier, a little bit shy by nature, a little bit socially awkward at times, and so I leaned into that facet of his personality when I did my audition. And I'd like to say that Jerry is a lot more afraid of his coworkers than he is of velociraptors, and so he'll lean into his work to the degree that he'll sometimes get so focused on the little details of getting things right that he'll can be completely oblivious to the big picture. And so I leaned into that facet of his personality, and I think that's why the director selected me for the role ultimately.
Nice. And with this one, there's a lot of there's a lot of films with this franchise. What kind of sets this one apart, or like what new things can, without spilling all of everything? What new things can the audiences expect from this one? Because I'm looking
So
forward to seeing it.
what's exciting about this one is we're sort of I like to say we're the punk rock dinosaur film of the summer. This is very much an independent, do-it-yourself sort of version of a take on the dinosaur franchise, and we um, we put so much passion and joy. We don't have the big budget that Universal has when they're producing movies. So we did everything on the fly, and it was a great race to the finish line. Every actor has put their all into the creation of this project. The director built this great collaborative set for everybody this big sandbox that we could all play in together. And so the most rewarding part of this movie for me was getting to troubleshoot. When we're on for these sort of indie projects, we're on very tight deadlines with very limited budget. Um, and so when problems arise, we all have to kind of work together as a team to sort of solve it. And you see that sort of unity uh, that happened behind the scenes. You see that sort of unity kind of transposed into the characters themselves as the team works together to sort of escape from these dinosaurs, if they escape from the dinosaurs. I can't spoil anything for you, but yeah.
Gotcha. So do you feel like the characters in this film, and in particular your character, did it live up to like your expectation? Like I know once you get a role, you still have to like, it's dynamic, so you have to like delve into it. But did it like overall, did it live up to like your expectation?
I can say that this may have been some of the most fun I've ever had in making films. I like yourself and your husband. I have a great admiration for the Jurassic franchise, and just to get a chance to sort of do like our own version of it was so exciting and so much fun. Like I was glowing every day that I was on set because I enjoyed it, and I think that joy will um, will will be contagious to audiences.
Okay. And then so what else do you have going on? I know that you've just done this. Do you have any other things in the works right
Yeah,
now?
so right now, the next project I'm working on is a parody of John Carpenter's The Thing, called The Theraping. And the joke of this one is that I don't know if you're familiar with the original sci-fi called Classic, but this one takes place in a different Antarctic base. But instead of being filled with explorers, this base is filled with therapists, and they all have to work together to figure out, using their therapy skills, to figure out which one of us is the monster and how we can get rid of it. So uh, it's directed by a very funny young director called Brendan Reed. And he put everything into this film. The props are great. He's a lot of practical effects, just like the original. And it's going to be a lot of fun.
Nice. And then in terms of the Jurassic movie, when are we going to be able to see it?
June 24th is when it premieres, and I believe it's going to have a small theatrical run that weekend.
Nice, nice. And how can our audiences like stay in contact with you? And do you have like a website or something so that we can like stay up on what you have going on?
Absolutely. So I like to joke with others that I am the Jurassic dinosaur and that I don't do any social media. But I do have a website, www.castbill.com, where you can follow the latest news on me and what I've been up to.
Nice. Really appreciate that. Is there any other things that you would like to add, or any like things that you want to promote in terms of upcoming projects or anything like that?
Uh,
Shout
I just like to say that I'm very lucky to be able to kind of do what I love to do for life. And I just encourage any of your readers that if you have a passion, if there's something that you've always wanted to do, whatever it is, to find a way in your life to pursue it, because make room for it wherever you can, because we only get one life, we only get one go around, so make the most of it.
You've been amazing. I'm really looking forward to seeing the film. You said June 24th.
Yes,
You guys have a good day, and I appreciate the interview.
I appreciate it so much, T. Thanks so much for taking the time to speak with me.
Thank
Bye.
you. You guys have a good one.
Take care
Thanks.
now. Bye bye.
Bye.